A very good evening, viewers from within and beyond our borders. We are coming to you live from Hospital Hill in Babane. My name is Zodwa Adlamini, bringing you the 8 o'clock news bulletin. First, the headlines. The Lumawati Foundation has spent over 2.5 million emalangeni on 458 scholarships for Eswatini students. A total of 116 boreholes that benefited over 35,000 people have been rehabilitated during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Ministry of Home Affairs has launched a mini civil registry service center at the Mbabane Government Hospital. The news in detail. Lumawati Foundation has awarded scholarships to 458 children so far. Delivering a financial report on the bursary project, Board Chair Dr. Skomba Gumbi revealed that these bursaries are worth more than 2.5 million emalangeni. The press briefing was held at the organization's residential offices.
The Lumawati Foundation was founded by His Royal Highness Prince Lindani Ngozi, and its main objective is to support the kingdom in the betterment of the lives of Eswatini. One of the organization's projects is assisting children with their education from preschool level to high school level. The chairperson of the organization, Dr. Skomba Gumbi, has thanked all the organizations and individuals who have been supporting Lumawati ever since.
Bantwana labayitholile imali la Lumawati Foundation sebangetulu kwemakhulu lamane nemashumi lasihlanu nesiphohlongo 458 nemali le sebendile lapho seyingetulu kwesigidzi semalangeni netinkulungwane letisihlanu nakutsatfu singathi njengesilungu 2.5 million seyiyonke empeleni ngu2,503,295 emalangeni. Lokuhle ke lokwendiwa ngilenhlangano ukuthi umntwana uma simbhadalela siyamlanzelela sibheke ukuthi aphase umnyaka ngeminyaka aqhubekele embili kodwa ke siye simlanzelele noma sacedzile ukuthi wagcina ashonephi njengoba nje namhla sinabo labanye la basesesikolweni kodwa sinabo nalese basemakolishi. Angichaze ke ukuthi laba labasemakolishi asibabhadaleli kodwa nje siye sibe njengemdali lokuthi silanzelele kusingabe kwagcina kwendeke njani.
Some of the beneficiaries are still at school, while others are now at tertiary, and some are working already. They have expressed their gratitude to the foundation and further hoped for more children to be assisted.
From being a gate man, and kutimisela bami kusho ukuthi results atabanga lamahle imbele
funza UNESCO Elieng and a Bachelor of Science in Consumer Science. Lihlala Maswati wangifundzisa kusukela ka form 1 bengifunza same. Badali bami ke abasebenza ngibona ukuthi bebatokhona ukungibhadalela ngize ngicede isikole. Ngilala ngikhona njengencane leya lihlele Eswatini. Ngibongela bonke abafundzela abafundiswa lihlele Eswatini. Basisite kakhulu. Ngithemba ukuthi bataqhubeka basite nalabanye. Besingajabula nabangaqhubeka basibhadalele university because kuyenteka uyithole indzawo university kepha ungasitholi scholarships ahulumende.
His Royal Highness has contributed positively to these children and to the country as a whole. On the news, I'm Polile Mazia with Tabiso Dlamini in Babane.
The Deputy Prime Minister, Themba Masuku, has presented a COVID-19 statement to members of the House of Assembly on how the country has fought the virus. The statement states that at least 116 boreholes and community water schemes have been rehabilitated, providing 35,000 people access to potable water.
The statement by the Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku gave a review on COVID-19 pandemic from the National Disaster Management Agency perspective. Masuku's statement shows that from March to October, 419 million emalangeni have been used. Masuku says lessons have been learned from the emergency procurement process and have been incorporated into NDMA procedures.
Lessons have been learned from the emergency procurement process and have been incorporated into NDMA procedures. For example, companies interested to do business with NDMA have to sign an indemnity form to ensure that none of their directors are civil servants or politicians as required by the Public Procurement Act of 2011, Section 60, subsection 2. Initially, the PPE was scarce globally and therefore very expensive. International travel was banned and it became difficult to secure commodities and prices escalated.
Members of Parliament debated the statement by the DPM. Most of them had questions, which included the logic behind distributing money instead of food parcels and the reasons behind distributing water tanks instead of rehabilitating dams.
NDMA utsite makahamba emimangweni wahamba nemalist ebantu ukuthi kukhona labatakuthola lokhu kudla solo akukendeki lutho mcondzisi
ukuthi nakabuketa ku distributor kwawo lawo mathange lapho akhona khona nekwethe ngabe onke nongikhuluma nyalo anawo inemandi nekuva ukuthi nakabuqathanisa lokuthi kufaka lamathange letigodzini versus ku renovate noma ku rehabilitate lamathange ini ma boreholes la khona bengikuphi lokungqono kufaka lamathange nalokuthi avuse lama boreholes etingwedle letikhona letindzaweni.
At the time of compiling the report, the statement was still debated in Parliament and the TPM was yet to give responses. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, Parliament.
The Minister for Home Affairs, Princess Lindiwe, says effective civil registration is vital for ensuring that children have the required access to basic services such as health and education. This was during the launch of the Civil Registration Mini Service Centre at the Mbabane Government Hospital. CPO Dlamini compiled the following report.
The Ministry of Home Affairs, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, has since launched a second civil registration mini-service centre at the Mbabane Government Hospital in a bid to bring more essential services closer to the public. This service or program is important as this will ensure that the National Population Register is up to date, according to the Minister for Home Affairs, Princess Lindiwe.
This activity is in line with the Ministry's commitment to provide a streamlined civil registration and vital statistics system for the Kingdom. It is further aligned to His Majesty's Vision 2022 for efficient, decentralized public service delivery throughout the country. The Ministry started off with a health facility registration pilot program at the Raleigh Fitkin Memorial Hospital in Manzini, and has now added another mini-service centre here at Mbabane Government Hospital. In total, the Ministry has targeted 11 public health facilities that provide maternity services.
The Minister for Health, Nkosi, encouraged all mothers who come to give birth at the Mbabane Government Hospital to bring the necessary documents so that by the time they leave with their babies, they can also leave with the birth certificates.
So you need that form. And you need your birth card for the baby. The baby always gets a birth card. Those three items, when you're still in hospital, you have them with you. So it is easy to then take those across and make sure that you can get your birth certificate. If the parents are married, if they have their marriage certificate, that helps, and that will be part of the children's record, the child's record. If they are not married, the father can bring in his own ID and come here and be a witness that he is indeed the father of that child. But if they are not married and the mother alone is enough, because the mother will have given birth to the child, there will be witnesses already in the hospital, there will be a birth card to that effect.
An accurate population register is an important asset for national development planning and public service delivery. Therefore, timely registration of all events is vital. Both the ministers have encouraged all key stakeholders to collaborate and extend support for this program to be a success. Reporting, I am Sipiwo Dlamini with Mbongwa Dube in Mbabane.
Since the establishment of the Commission on Human Rights and Public Administration Integrity in 2009, the Commission has not been able to fully execute its duties, which includes that of being a public protector. This was said by the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Polile Shakantu, when the Commission met with the Ministry's House of Assembly Portfolio Committee. The committee was capacitated on the Commission's scope.
Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Polile Shakantu, says it is important for MPs to know about the work done by the Human Rights Commission. Shakantu says, although the Commission gives a report of its work, it is important for MPs to be educated about it.
Labaningi baya kuyo i-commission bayobika tindzaba te-human rights. Kanzi-ke ngemtsetfosisekelo, i-Human Rights Commission iphinze ibe i-Integrity Commission. I-Integrity Commission kulamanye mave kuye kubitwe ngokuthi ombudsman noma ke public protector. Iphinze futhi i-commission ithonywe ngemtsetfosisekelo ukuthi iphinze ibuke tindzaba tenkhohlakalo.
Human Rights Commissioner Sabelo Masuku says one of the reasons that make the Commission not to work to its full capacity is the pending Human Rights Bill.
Solo yathi nhlo i-commission bahlonishwa yebo kona lokunengi kukhona la kumthethosisekelo kodwa i-commission iyayidzinga i-bill noma ke i-act yayo kune bill lekhona leya draft nga 2011 solo siyayizama siyayiphusha ukuthi manje imane ifike eParliament isenjetwe kahle iphase lokuthiwa ke Human Rights Bill. The Human Rights Bill itasita kulokunengi lokungala ma gaps lakhona.
Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, House of Assembly Portfolio Committee Chairperson Sibusiso Dlamini says they will do all they can to ensure that the bill becomes law.
Singethe sarelaya kakhulu kumthethosisekelo ngoba umthethosisekelo mhlambe ubrief noma ushalo kuletinye tindzaba but ke lo mthetho wabo wekusebenza kumele siyiParliament sisukume siufune bantu batokhona kusitakala.
Other issues affecting the Commission which were noted by Masuku are staff shortage, where he explained that there were 7 employees while working equipment was also insufficient. The Commission deals with different human rights issues which include land dispute. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, Mbabane.
The Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Mangoba Khumalo, has announced Mavela Avilane as the new Executive Director of the Eswatini Standards Authority, SWASA. The Minister has urged the new director to ensure that SWASA attains an accredited management system certification owned by the entity in the next few months, as this will be a great turnaround for the organization.
The new executive director at SWASA, Mavela Vilane, has worked for both Eswatini Railway and SWASA as a quality assurance manager. He holds a Master's of Business Leadership and a Master's of Science and a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture. When announcing the new director, the Minister of Commerce, Mangoba Khumalo, said he believes he has what it takes to take this organization to greater heights. The minister says attaining the management system certification will be a great turnaround for the entity.
I have also learned that this entity is in the process of attaining accreditation for the management system certification activities. Mr. Vilane, the ministry and the nation at large are looking to have an accredited certification by SWASA very soon. As we speak of an exports-driven economy, we want to make sure that from the grassroots, cooperatives, SMEs, informal traders will all have the SWASA stamp of approval for whatever they are wanting to sell to the export market.
The new executive director, Mavela Vilane, says in the 3 years in office, he will ensure that revenue streams for SWASA are established to sustain the organization.
Siyathembisa kaMinista ukuthi sitawuzama ngako konke lokusemandleni ethu ukuthi tinhlelo letifanele sitifake endzaweni kwekuthi lenkampani ikhone kuyenda inzuzo.
He says as a team they will work to ensure that the minister's request is achieved. Vilane will be in office for 3 years. Reporting, I'm Lungelele Makakula with Muzimkonda Matapa.
The Ministry of Tourism continued with its national campaign to help communities that have donga by rehabilitating them. Today, the Minister of Tourism, Moses Vilagati, visited the Nyatsini area under the Sigwe constituency for a ministerial tour of the 100,000 Emalangeni funded donga rehabilitation project by the Eswatini Environment Authority.
The Nyatsini Donga Rehabilitation Project was chosen to be among a total of 11 projects which were awarded grants under the Eswatini Environment Fund for the 2019-2020 financial year. The Minister for Tourism, Moses Vilagati, says dongas are a challenge that threaten the development, like damaging roads and eroding crop production fields. Vilagati says all eMaswati should make soil preservation their responsibility.
Let me take this opportunity to thank you as a community for having worked tirelessly to make sure that all the dongas that were affecting communication from one place to the next are now history. We have been informed that there are more dongas in the area that still need support, and I therefore implore the chairperson and the board of trustees to come again and assist this wonderful community.
The chairman of the Eswatini Environmental Authority, Menzi Dlamini, thanked the community members that were hands-on during the rehabilitation process.
The fund was basically for installing gabions on the dongas that have been caused by excessive water or erosion. We have installed close to 8 or 9 gabions. What should be mentioned is that there is quite a number of community members that are going to benefit from these gabions, because they currently use that route towards the deep tank. So quite a number of them are going to benefit from this.
The Eswatini Environmental Authority is advising donga-infested communities to apply for donga rehabilitation from the authority. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, Sifiso Ngumalo with Muva Shongwe, Nyatsini.
At this point in time, let us take a look at the statement issued by the Ministry of Health regarding COVID-19. The Ministry of Health has reported 5 new confirmed COVID-19 cases in the country in the past 24 hours. In a statement issued by the Ministry of Health, a total of 250 results were received today, of which 5 tested positive for coronavirus, bringing the total number of confirmed cases in the country to 5,805. The statement shows that there are 231 active cases, 5,453 have recovered, 116 have died, and 5 have been registered for care. Looking at the cumulative confirmed COVID-19 cases by region, Manzini has 2,608 confirmed cases, Oho has 2,192, Lubombo has 514, and the Shiselweni region has 491 confirmed COVID-19 cases. More than 2,500 children from 3 constituencies under the whole region will be able to get food assistance following a donation of 1,000 cabbages and 1,300 bundles of spinach from 2 young male farmers of Eswatini in the whole region. The donation was received by the National Disaster Management Agency's Regional Officer, Tebile Dlamini. Following various issues caused by the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic, which left many Eswatini without jobs, and the closing of many businesses, which then resulted to families living under poverty and without food, 2 young male vegetable farmers from Lumawati in the rural region have donated more than 1,000 cabbages and 1,300 bundles of spinach to the National Disaster Management Agency, which will be distributed to 2,500 children in 3 constituencies in the whole region. Presenting the vegetables to the National Disaster Management Agency, vegetable farmer Bektemba Dlamini says this donation is a way of helping the government in helping the affected families in the country.
Having a total number of 1,000 cabbages, which are worth 6,000 emalangeni, and some spinach, which is worth 1,300 emalangeni. So we're going to give the National Disaster Management so that they can try to distribute it to the people who are living beyond the poverty line.
National Disaster Management Agency's Regional Officer Tabile Dlamini says this donation will go a long way in helping children living under extreme poverty in 3 tinkhundlas under the whole region.
Unikele ngesipho lesihle nakangaka lesitawubenefita eMaswati lesati kahle lo ukuthi kulabo labatawuthola emaseko lamathathu se-identify emadladla etinkhundleni etintathu emadladla onke kule tinkhundla.
Dlamini further says they will make sure that the donation is distributed to the affected national care points in the region. Reporting, I'm Zoto Dlamini with Muslim Konda at Lumawati in the whole region. In our sports news, Mbabane Swallows has announced former Denver Sundowns coach Christopher Annan as their new head coach and Jabulo Ndlovu as their new player. Both Anning and T4D have signed 2-year contracts respectively and were introduced by the team's committee member Tulani Lukele on behalf of the club's president in Mbabane.
Mbabane Swallows continues to beef up their team as they now have announced Christopher Annan from Ghana, who was at Denver Sundowns, as their new coach, replacing the departed Zambian Ona Janza. Swallows committee member Tulani Lukele, speaking on behalf of the club's president, Bishop Begil Lukele, says Annan is given a mandate to win trophies.
Let's say win trophies.
Lukele says they brought the coach to win trophies and make Mbabane Swallows fans happy, but the biggest target for them is to go back to Africa, and they believe Annan is the right coach to take them there.
Sifiso sakhe president ukuthi ende ema-fans eMbabane Swallows abe happy. I-target lenkulu ukuthi as-coach asimikise Africa.
Annan, speaking for the first time with the media, said he also wants to take the team to Africa.
And I'm here to help the club improve and become the usual Swallows that Swazi people know. So I'll give my best, at least to get them back for the trophies and the league competition as well.
Swallows also unveiled their former player, Jabulo Ndlovu, who was playing for Mbombela United in South Africa, who said he wanted to win trophies with the team and eventually go back to South Africa.
In South Africa, and I want to play there. I've played before and I want to play again, and I want to go back to South Africa.
The team also highlighted that they will still be looking at adding more players and they will soon be announcing new positions within the technical team. Reporting for Eswatini TV Sports News, I am Patiso Msibi, Mbabane.
The director of Cheshire Homes, Kabo Dlamini, says the wheelchair basketball project that they started in 2017 has been a huge success. Dlamini was speaking during an interview after they hosted a workshop for their staff this past weekend.
In 2017, the Eswatini Basketball Association and the Cheshire Homes started a wheelchair basketball game that is played by disabled people. 3 years later, the Cheshire Home Director, Kabo Dlamini, says the program seems to be a success.
The response is very positive. The program has grown in leaps and bounds. We had one of our representatives going to South Africa in the beginning of the year to represent us in that forum of the sport. It has grown. The interest is there. People are keen to learn how to do it, and we have the wheelchairs here. We are supported by the Australian aid, so we've been able to buy and procure those wheelchairs because they are different from the normal wheelchairs.
Eswatini Basketball Association says they see a lot of improvement from the athletes who play the sport.
We've had more and more enthusiasm from different players, even people around. When they walk past where we train emanzini nasembabane, bahle babute noma uthole ukuthi umuntu angene atobutela bampa bakibo or someone from their home, and they would show the interest and were actually excited to see that there's activity and action that people living with disabilities can actually engage in. I think it's a very big step for Swazi sport as a whole. But in terms of the benefits as well, the success, you are seeing healthier, I'm seeing healthier athletes, both from Mbabane and Manzini. We are hoping to extend it.
The association say they are looking at adding more teams to the two they already have that are based in Manzini and Mbabane. Reporting for Eswatini TV Sports News, I am Patizo Msibi, Mbabane.
Before we wrap up our 8 o'clock news bulletin, let us once again take a look at the stories that are making headlines. The Lumawati Foundation has spent over 2.5 million emalangeni on 458 scholarships for Eswatini students. A total of 116 boreholes that benefited over 35,000 people have been rehabilitated during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Ministry of Home Affairs has launched a mini civil registry service center at the Mbabane Government Hospital. Well, viewers, that's all I have for you from our news desk. Thank you very much for staying with us at this half an hour. At this point in time, please allow me to leave you with the weather update for tonight and tomorrow. Otherwise, from myself, Zoto Adlamini, and the rest of the transmission team, good night and stay safe.